Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Sideline Junkies proudly present to you the Gentleman Jack, the big guy KG, and we're waiting on the Midnight Rider. We are the Sideline Junkies, and this is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network's presentation of the Thursday night throwdown. Yeah, we'll have the
Yes,
Midnight
sir.
Rider do it over when he get here, but yeah,
Nobody does it like he does.
not at all. Jack, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. Let me get my television turned down. There we go. Now I'm ready. I'm
All
feeling
right,
good.
man.
Feeling good.
Like I said, this is a Thursday night throwdown, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. And the aforementioned Midnight Rider has stepped through the stage doors,
Yes, he has.
and he is here. So let's go ahead and get him to do it right. Midnight Rider, tell
What's
me
up,
what
baby?
kind of show this is today.
Well, there's what we do here on this here Friday Eve. We do a little show, and there are people that stand at the water cooler, they stand by the microwave. Shoot, they might even be telling somebody that the horses are prepared for the day and the victory is of the Lord. I don't know what you're going to be talking about, but I know one thing they will talk about. They'll talk about the Thursday night throwdown. Yeah. All right, let's go, folks.
See, that's what we was missing. Now we didn't got it right, so let's go. Um,
In there.
let me give you a little bit of a programming note before we get started. Last night, if you did not catch in the passenger seat with these two gentlemen, that's in the passenger seat with Jack Carr, his backseat driver, the Midnight Rider. If you didn't catch that show with them, please make sure you go back and you look at that and you like and share, please. Any comments that you leave, we'll try to get to them. I got comments on YouTube that I got, and it's a particular comment I need to get to because we said something about Eric Bieniemy about a year ago. And this gentleman was like, "Oh man, y'all need to give EB a chance." And this, and I love to go back at those comments, and be like, "Still think we need to give him a chance?" But I digress. I love doing that, but make sure you check that out. And then coming up Saturday, a programming note. Not only do you have the Gridiron Saturday morning / afternoon.
Whoa. You can't say gridiron. It's not just the gridiron. It's the greatest fictitious college football show in the world, baby. In the world, Craig. The gridiron. All right, go ahead.
And that will be early Saturday. But the programming note for Saturday night, normally you'll see the world-renowned, often imitated but never duplicated Saturday Night WrestleManiacs at 9 p.m. You'll see us a little later because Saturday night's main event premieres on Peacock on Saturday, which is the return of Jesse the Body Ventura, and we will be doing a react show after that. So make sure you check that out.
Jesse the Body, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Dang,
He is coming back.
I ain't heard that name in years.
Oh, man. Because, yeah, he changed his name to Jesse the Mind Ventura when he turned around Minnesota and made everything affordable. So let's jump off in this. College basketball, Jack. You got some top 10 things that we got going on and some rankings. And I got a couple of questions about college basketball. So I'm going to throw it over to the gentleman, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a good start to the season. A lot of surprises in the top 25. There was a big shakeup in the top 10 this week. Some of the games, Kansas dropped 2 games this week. UCLA beat Oregon this week. Number 24, UCLA beat number 12, Oregon. And another one, Wisconsin. Wisconsin lost to Illinois, unranked Illinois, so that shook up the top 25 a little bit because Wisconsin's probably going to drop off the list. So Our top 10 now after the shakeups is Tennessee Volunteers, who got 58 first place votes. They are 8-0, being led by Chaz Lanier with 19 points. And then you got at number 2, Auburn, who received 3 first place votes. They are 8-1. They're one loss to Duke Blue Devils, led by Johnny Broom with 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. He's going to probably be up for the Naismith Award, the Best College Basketball Player Award. Iowa State is number 3 at 7-1, with their only loss coming to Auburn, being led by Keyshawn Gilbert with 17 points. You got to watch out with them Iowa State, man. And I love their name, the Shockers, man. That's got to be one of the toughest nicknames around, the Shockers. And at number 4, you got the Duke Blue Devils at 7-2 with their 2 losses to Kansas and Kentucky. Duke is being led by Cooper Flagg with 16 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists a game. And number 5, that's Duke's nemesis, the Kentucky Wildcats at 8-1. Their only loss to Clemson. They're being led by Ortega Owa at 16 points a game. And then I like seeing this name back up in the college hoops things. Number 6, Marquette. Marquette is 9-1. I remember Marquette being a solid team in my youth years, 70s, 80s. It's good to see Marquette back on the scene. Their only loss is to Iowa State, and Marquette is being led by a gentleman named Cam Jones, 20 points a game. Keep an eye on that guy. He can put numbers up. Number 7, this team jumped up 3 or 4 spots in this week's poll. Alabama, 7-2. Losses to Purdue and Oregon, both tight games. And Alabama is led by a gentleman named Mark Sears at 16 points a game. He can make big numbers as well. You've seen him in last year's NCAA tournament. He was putting up big numbers. So keep an eye on Alabama and Mark Sears. Number 8 is Gonzaga. I just don't give Gonzaga too much respect, man. They need to get in a real conference and play some real squads, because it seems like, this year they're 7-2 and their 2 losses, West Virginia and Kentucky. That's the only 2 teams they really played this year. So I don't give Gonzaga too much that, man. They can sit at the number 8 spot, but I don't think they're going to be there long. Number 9, Florida. This is the team that was coming in the preseason poll at around number 20, and I like them. I should keep an eye on them Florida Gators. Well, Florida has climbed all the way up to number 9 with a 9-0 record. I believe they're one of 3 undefeated teams. Don't hold me to that, but I know there's 3 undefeated teams still left in NCAA basketball. And Florida is led by Walter Clayton Jr., 18 points a game. And then to round out the top 10 is number 10 Kansas, who has dropped down this list like, oh, man, it's terrible. Kansas was number 1 2 weeks ago. But Kansas has had losses to Creighton and Missouri. So Kansas 7-2 at the number 10 spot with big man Hunter Dickinson, 15 points a game, 10 boards leading the way for them. So, Kansas is just going through a bump. They're playing big-time games, It's not Cupcake City down there. So Rock Chalk Jayhawk, go Kansas. That's about what I got. Any of you guys got anything you want to talk about NCAA basketball? I heard KG had questions, but I'll check with Mr. Ryder. What about you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm just listening to you, man, because you're doing all the legwork for me on this one.
Well, I love my basketball.
This Wednesday, I'm sitting in the back seat on this one, brother.
Yeah, it's basketball. You're starting to see who's going to be who and stuff like that right now, because, like I say, conference play starting. All the tournaments are wrapping up soon. Everybody's getting into conference play, and you're going to see who's made of what. Like I said, the Terps came in to their first conference game. I think the Terps were 7-1 or 8-1 at the time, and they took a pretty nice thump into Purdue. So, I want them cats over there in College Park to do well, but I just think their fans are a little far out in front of the cart with that early record they had, the good record they had early on. So we'll see what happens.
What's the big fella's name at Maryland?
Queen.
Okay. What's he looking like? Have you seen him yet?
Yeah, he's solid. Yeah, 22 rebounds couple weeks ago. I mean, 22 rebounds. I don't care who y'all. You cleaning some glass, bro. 22 rebounds is nothing to sneeze at. So he's doing a lot, and I think they got a senior guard over there leading the way. He's like the quarterback. I went over it last week. I just don't have the name in front of me, and it's not sticking in my old man head. But they're gonna be middle of the pack, maybe a little bit below middle of the pack in the Pac-10, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to be cellar dwellers, and like I say, if they can get Queen to stay 2 years, they might be able to turn something on next season, in my opinion. But it's hard to keep cats with this much talent in college for more than 1 year nowadays.
No, that's it. You're right. I mean, you get the longer you stay, the worse you get.
That's what they say.
Well, let me ask this question. Looking not just at the top 10, but looking at the top 25, are there any surprise teams that's a surprise to you that are in the top 25? Is there any teams that are missing from the top 25 that aren't there?
As far as missing, no, not right now. I mean, the top 25 right now is really like the top 35. There's 10 honorable mentions that are a win or a loss by someone else on the list away from jumping. So it's not that solidified yet, in my opinion, a solid 25. You'll see something like that come mid-January, in another month. Then, because like I say, conference play is just starting, and that's when you start to know who's who. So it's a little early right now to say if anybody's getting shafted off the list or not getting their credits they deserve or being a big surprise. I mean, surprise to me on the, as I went over the top 10, it's probably Marquette in Florida. Florida is a surprise to everybody because, like I said, it came in ranked 20th in the preseason poll. So it's a little early yet for that, KG.
Okay. Couple of comments real quick. Matty Ice said they have to have the old theme song right, talking about Saturday Night Main Event. I hope so. I doubt it, but I hope so. Okay. I know they got the old stylization because every time I've seen it, it's the old, it's written in the old style. So Matty Ice said, I still use the greatest quote from Jesse. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. See? I love it. I love it.
That sounds like the Raider way.
Exactly. That sounds like Raider rules. Raider rules. Cheating is encouraged. Raider rule number 2. C rule number 1. Matty Ice said a mid-major to watch is UC Irvine. They are 9-0, and damn, do they play some mean D. They play D like this all year. Watch out for them in March.
I agree strongly, Matty. They do. They are scrappy. It's like when you turn the lights on over at your boy's house and you got roaches, they just scatter. That's what they look like on the court, man. Irvine's fast too. Yeah, that's a good call, man.
It sounds like you're stepping on cornflakes.
Yeah. I used to hate that. We come home from staying the night at our friend's house in the apartments, and Mom would be at the front porch with a hefty trash bag talking about, take your clothes off, put them in here. Mom wasn't playing because one time we did bring the bugs home. Mom had a fit. Everybody's been to everybody's either had it or seen it or been to their friend's house and seen it. But you go to the bathroom and turn the light on, woo, them Jones doing what, 3 940s. Man, yeah, my cousin's house has some jacked up joints, boy. Woo.
Next up, it's Army Navy week. I mean, this is pretty much supposed to be your only game this week, but we do have a bowl game between Western Michigan and South Alabama on Saturday as well. But this is supposed to be the only game played is Army versus Navy.
Well, and we can leave that South Alabama game for Midnight Rider to call. I'm sure he's up to snuff on the Western Kentucky South Alabama squad. Huh? They got Jinky's brother over there. Just kidding, folks.
But Army and Navy both played very well so far this year. I think Army only has one loss. I think Navy is 9-3. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir. They lost 3 of their last 5. Lost
And
to
I think
Rice, Tulane, and Notre Dame.
And I think Army's only loss is to Notre Dame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And I said something. Speaking of this game, JoJo, she was talking about Army making a bowl game, and I said this is a slap in the face because Army has been dominant, and if I'm not mistaken, they won their conference, right? I believe they won their conference. And they didn't get selected for the playoff, even as a 12 seed. I think Army, that would have shook everything up and that would have turned everything on their head. But I think they should have been in the playoff. I said that when they were running the table before they lost to Notre Dame. I said they should be in the table because they're winning decisively.
So you would have put Army in there over SMU?
Quite possibly. I mean, come on now. Miami should have been in the playoff. We were talking about Miami being in the playoff. Miami should have been in the playoff. So
No.
Here we go.
2 against 1 here, bro.
You over here handing out participation trophies again.
Yeah.
Good God. Army strength of schedule is probably one of the lowest in the country. And how do they get in? And then you take out SMU. How do you even want to keep Miami in it? Miami didn't deserve it.
Okay.
That's why I think this is why I think it needs to stay at 12. But I know once money gets involved.
Oh, they already said they're going to 14 and 26.
Yeah. We're gonna get
We're already going. We're already going to 14 and 26. So by 28 to 30, we'll be at 16. Yep. But this is my thing. Everybody was talking about Alabama should be in. If Alabama should have been in, Army should have been in. Miami should have been in.
How?
But if you can make the argument for Alabama, people are making an argument for Alabama, not me, because I don't give a shit about Alabama. I'm just going to be honest.
You're talking SEC against what?
Yeah.
You're talking NFL minor leagues versus Army's conference? Come on.
Yeah, but now, here's the thing with Army. Army has talent, but and let's say they got 85 players, maybe 1 or 2 might make it into the NFL as a walk-on, maybe 1 drafted, and I still think that I put them up head-to-head against SMU, and I got them beating SMU. That's just my opinion.
I'd like to see that game, but I don't think
I don't need to see that game.
I don't think the turnout. I think SMU was smoking.
SMU struggled with Clemson, and Clemson gave them the game. SMU could have won the ACC. But they shit the bed.
SMU can come into this fictional matchup, okay? Let's call it a fictional matchup. SMU can come into this and just defensive run stop plan. That's it. This dude throws 2-3 passes a game. A team like SMU would annihilate them, man.
Let me tell you something, Jack. Army and Navy have been running the same offense for as long as I can remember. Now I know Navy runs the triple option. You know the triple option is coming. You know it's coming. You can game plan for it. You can install your defense. You know it's coming. The key is, can you stop it?
Big time schools like Alabama or SMU, yeah, I think they can.
Alabama and SMU would struggle with that triple option because you don't see it very often. Just like if somebody came out with the wishbone, you're going to struggle with it because it's not the sexy offense anymore. It's old school. It's archaic. Nobody's going to run that. Nobody's running that stuff anymore. It's all about chucking the ball down the field.
Yeah, but they don't. And to stop that, you just throw 7 in the box, period.
Yeah, but when you got a hat on a hat up front, and you may have 7 in the box, but what was that? It was a game Army played. They had their first drive was 11 minutes. 11 minutes, 85 yards, straight ground and pound.
That's a long time.
And you telling me they wearing down a defense like that, and they do that for 4 quarters, ground and pound, 4 quarters.
Hey, that's impossible. It's just, you're talking about Army's best athlete is probably the 35th kid at Alabama.
Yes. Army's best.
It's not even a fair equation when you compare their schedules. Like
Exactly, and I agree. Army's best kid
beat nobody in the top 25.
Army's best kid is going to be the director of the CIA one day.
Yeah, possibly. Matty Ice, come in here and straighten KG out, please, Matty. Tell him from the outside, Matty.
But Matty Ice said Navy's uniforms are so sweet looking, but Army's going to win. I believe Army's going to win too. I think it's going to come down. It's going to come down to late heroics, but Army's going to win this.
I think Army's going to win by 2 touchdowns.
I don't think they very rarely get into those type of ball games. Most of the time they don't normally go 2 touchdown defeats. They normally stick it out, and it's normally close. And I think this one will be close as well.
I think Army's just that much better than Navy.
Okay. Well, I mean, according to KG, Army's beating Alabama next week, so.
Oh, Army's going to the championship. Yep. Yeah. Army going to get a shillelagh.
Matty Ice checked in. The American Conference is better, but Army isn't in the top 12.
Come on.
What a nice way to smoothly say that so you don't hurt nobody's feelings, Matt. Just tell them. Yes, sir. And then, some bowl games start up midweek next week. Miami Beach Bowl, Boca Raton Bowl. If you live in Tampa Bay Bowl, the Tempe Bowl, the Colorado. I mean, the bowls are just crazy how many there are, and the names are some of them are hilarious.
But then next Friday, the real deal gets started with Notre Dame and Indiana on Friday night, and then you get the rest of the bracket on Saturday. A nice little triple header. So that's where the gusto begins.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you now, if they go to 16 this weekend that Army and Navy have by themselves, it's gonna go bye-bye.
We gotta be sure and get Matty a bracket pick'em invite to come into the Junkies contest.
If they make this 16 and they take away Army Navy week, it's bad enough. It's bad enough you got a bowl game being played on the same day, but if you take away Army Navy week, which has been their week for ages, you take that away. I think that is, to steal a word from the Midnight Rider, a Travis Shamockery. You are messing with tradition yet again.
Yeah, you shouldn't take that away.
No, they'll just have they used to have games on this day, and then they made it special for them. Here we go. That's better, man. That's better.
Matty Ice said, okay, KG, you bet shit crazy on that one. That better, Jack.
Bullseye, Matty. Bullseye. I'm bit batshit crazy.
I'll take that. But well, we got Army Navy. Any highlights from Navy that you guys want to? I mean, we talked about Army heavy. Navy wasn't too shabby this year neither. They kind of fell off later in the season, but they weren't too shabby. They were looking pretty good to start it out because they were undefeated. What, the first 7 or 8 games, or 6 or 7 games?
7.
And everybody was looking at them like, "Ooh, this is." What if we get an undefeated Army and an undefeated Navy on Army Navy week? And
that would have been tight, but they got Notre Dame speed bump in the way, right?
Of course, because that's what Notre Dame does. Indiana, you next. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
Mm-hmm. No, I knew neither one of them was going to be undefeated at the end.
I'm just saying. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
It would have been sweet, but then Notre Dame wouldn't be where they are if they was undefeated right now.
Checking my time, it's 8:07, so let's get into this, fellas. We got Rams versus Niners tonight. Niners are 3-point favorites. Over-under is 48.5. Gentleman Jack, take this one away. Talk about the Rams who are coming off of a Sunday shootout. Like that was a shootout amongst 50 cows on Sunday.
It was. And this here, NFC West battle. NFC West is crazy. First place to last place in that division, 2 games difference. You know what I'm saying? You got Seattle at 8-5, who the Rams and the 49ers are chasing. And then last place is 6-7. So 2-game difference. Whoever in this division, you're fighting for the title of the division title. You're not fighting for no wild card it don't look like. Bosa's going to be playing today for San Fran. San Fran needs this. I mean, the Rams do too. It's a really important game for both. Stafford's been hot. He's got 4 straight games with multi-TDs and 0 interceptions. So that's pretty awesome. But the Rams' pass defense sucks. And Purdy is going to pick it apart tonight. I look for the 49ers to win in a high-scoring game. I'm going to take the Niners head up, straight up, Niners and the over. I think this is going to be another firework game like we had the other night. I just don't think the Rams are going to be able to stop the Niners enough. So that's what I got. What you got, Midnight Rider?
This is a classic ball game of 2 teams that run the same thing. They're basically playing in the mirror mostly. Coaches probably, brother-in-laws or whatever, in-laws of somebody on the other staff. This ball game is going to be, I think it's going to be fun because I think both teams have enough injuries on the defense that I think the offenses will move the football. The question I have is, will San Fran have enough in the tank to keep them competitive in this ball game? Because the way the Rams played last week against the Buffalo Bills, if they can keep that up, if that's momentum, then San Fran is going to have a problem and San Fran is going to fall back. The other key to this is the beauty of the NFL changing their schedule. Back in the day, 5-6 years ago, we didn't have all these divisional games closing out the season. And that's the best part about this, because now we get to figure out the standings in the NFC West. We get to see people get knocked off and teams playing quality teams, knocking each other off, and basically you're cannibalizing your division. And that's what's going to happen here. And I think the Rams survive this and win the NFC West. No blue magic.
No blue magic. Matty Ice said Rams win unless they got a letdown. Don't trust San Francisco. I said something about San Francisco the last couple of seasons. Even when they went to the Super Bowl, I said, San Francisco, you haven't arrived yet. And I keep saying that that's not a knock when I say you haven't arrived. That's me saying that you haven't hit your peak yet. You're not where you think you are. San Francisco has been moving through seasons. I think the last 4 seasons, they've been dealing with just a slew of injuries. They've been a mash unit. And now that we're going through it again, I can't really believe in San Francisco because this is not truly San Francisco. This is it's San Francisco in name, but not in talent. As far as the Rams go, the Rams showed me something Sunday, and I'm very happy that they showed it to me. They showed me that they can possibly take Seattle down. And remember, the NFC West was the first. They had the first division winner to have a below 500 record to go to the playoffs and win a playoff game when the Seahawks were 7-9. So if it can happen anywhere, it can happen in the NFC West. But I'm going to take the Rams in this one. I'm going to take Puka Nacua going off, him and Cooper Kupp being unstoppable, going off. I think they're going to have 150 yards receiving apiece, 2 touchdowns. Stafford's going to continue to be hot. And that's that. Give me the Rams in this one. Give me the Rams a cover. So give me Rams 24-10 over the Niners. Give me the under.
Oh, I didn't do a score. Give me Rams 31, Niners 21.
Man, both of y'all on them. Okay, go San Fran. Let's roll. Ooh.
Give Get your butt in, Jack.
No, it's not that, but excuse me, I'm gonna be on assignment. I gotta get my lineup straight before this game starts tonight.
Well, I don't know what else we got. I think we're at the end.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. This is going to be a good weekend of football. And then we still got NBA basketball. We still got college basketball. Only thing, here's a question. I had to ask Dario this question last night. I was talking to my daughter. And she was saying Beyonce's supposed to perform at halftime on Christmas. And I was like, who's playing on Christmas? Houston versus Baltimore. I'm like, why is it? And I think I said this before. Why is the NFL even trying to infringe on Christmas when we all know that's an NBA day? That's when you have your NBA triple header on Christmas.
Well, the NBA did something like 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, and then the NFL was like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then they started the last 2 years. We've had Christmas football, and the NFL has kind of just put up a middle finger to them and said, "Here we go. We going go head to head with y'all and see what's happening." So yeah. We're talking about the NFL, the league that will chase the money. They're going to chase that bag.
Yeah.
I think Shaq said it best when he was talking about the NBA. It's unwatchable. It's getting to the point that it's unwatchable. I don't think it's at that point yet, but it's getting there. When you look at the stats and you see guys, a team is 11 for 56 from three. That's unwatchable basketball. I got a video that I'm gonna post later that talks about this very thing, so I'm not gonna get into it. But, fellas, any final thoughts?
No, it's very unwatchable because all it is I'll dribble, drive, I'll turn down the layup to kick it to some guy that's 7'10", shooting a three in the corner. He's gonna miss. We're gonna rebound it. We're going to be at the rim with the rebound. We're going to turn around and kick it all the way back out to the top of the key. He's going to shoot a three. He's going to miss it. And then they're going to get another rebound. And then the defense is going to, they're going to turn from defense to offense. And then some guy on the break, he's going to pull up and he's going to shoot a three. And then they're going to get a rebound. And then they're going to kick it out and they're going to shoot another three. It's the worst thing I ever watched. And then when they're not doing that, they're making the most basic turnovers in the world. Dribbling and jumping, and then don't have anybody to throw the ball to come down. That's a travel. If they even call it. Sometimes they'll let you dribble again.
Washington?
Talking about the NBA, period.
Oh. A lot of traveling. A lot of traveling. They should be travel agents. It's bad.
It's ridiculous.
I seen one video. Fast break. LeBron gets it at the circle at half court and didn't even dribble. I'm like, damn. And then the other night, them step back jumpers are traveling too.
Yeah, because they take 2 steps back.
They hop like a rabbit.
Yeah.
And then y'all see that I'm sure y'all seen it on Sports Center, the Golden State game last night for the it was the semis, I think, in the Bama Cup.
And it's the quarters. The semis are in Vegas.
Quarters of the Bama Cup.
They robbed Golden State because that was a foul.
They did. I seen sportscasters today saying, the gentleman's forearm went across his face. That's a fact. Man, they was all going for the ball. And like Coach said, he said, you're going to call a foul 80 feet from the basket with nobody even attempting a shot. That was a bullshit call, I thought. Not saying that the Golden State would have won, but that was a bullshit call. And it seems to be, it's like that in all our major sports now, What is up? Just because we got instant replay and review, does that just show us how bad our officials have been? Or I don't know why.
No.
Yeah.
We're seeing the non-calls and the shitty calls.
Because you have so many people now trying to say that the league is rigged. They're trying to make their case that it's set up for certain teams to win. So now all people are doing is taking advantage, taking the tape and showing what they can get off of it. It's like the dumb that put the Detroit Lions thing where they were like, oh, that 4th and 1 shouldn't have counted because the quarterback's knee hit the ground. It should have been a quarterback kneel. And it's like, no, idiot. It shouldn't have been a quarterback kneel because he was in the act of handing the football off. He wasn't giving himself up. It's like we have so many people that now just make takes, and the takes make no sense. They because they don't know the rules, and they're just trying to make it fit their narrative that you get shitty results. And now somebody else that don't know nothing about football, like, oh yeah, that should have been it. They cheated for Detroit. No, they didn't. Dumb. You don't know the rules. Dumb, me gum.
Well, and then you got some people a little closer to you that you know. This side. That swear they cheating for the Kansas City Chiefs every week.
I got proof.
see me in that ride. He got tape too. Nah, but I see what you're saying. With the conspiracy that the NFL's rigged, everybody's looking and nitpicking for that little shit instead of watching the damn football game.
Hell yeah!
So
I don't believe that sports was rigged. I believe it's called human error. We got to think about it. You got a bunch of humans doing a job. It's going to be error. So
yeah, but the problem is we as fans expect that human error not to exist. That's the problem.
I hear you.
With the amount of technology we got, it should be a little bit more minimal.
No. Because then we're going to be stopping, just like they tried 2 years ago or 3 years ago with that pass interference reviews thing, and it was straight garbage. It was the worst idea they ever had because pass interference is a judgment call. The only thing they need to do is they keep telling me about this artificial or this AI official or whatever it is. They need that joker to step in when there's a bad spot and we got quarterbacks in the pocket, climbing the pocket, and their face mask is being grabbed, but nobody see it. I think they call it replay assist. Replay assist needs a better job, or they need to do a better job because they stink. That's it for me on that. Oh, and your boy Juan Soto. I mean, he's my boy, but I don't know, man. You're hurting my heart today.
Only pass interference I believe should have been reviewed was Rams versus Saints. Because I think that prevented the Saints from going to the Super Bowl. That's it. So
you gotta have an infrastructure in place for that even to be allowed to happen.
Right. Matty Ice said all the games are so much faster and officials get one look. Yeah. And then they send it off to New York. Oh, we're going to send it up to New York. And then they come back Monday with the minutes from the game. Oh, this should have been a foul and this should have been a penalty. And you telling me that on Monday after I just lost the game 31-30 because you didn't call something. Yeah, that really helps me out on Monday morning. You're not going to reverse the calls. So come on. Anyway, let's not even get into it. Put a pin in it. Because the game has started, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. It's 3rd and 14.
All right, so let's go enjoy the game for the Gentleman Jack, the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. We don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here.